What did you make of the first half performance?
I thought we started all right, and then Cyprus, as you can see, have just started coming into the game more towards the end of the first half, and I'm sure Michael will be happy to get in and have a word with the players. We've been a bit sloppy in possession and not really working our way up the pitch with possession. Giving ourselves a chance to get balls in the box and like I say, create chances.
What about yourself, David? What have you made of it?
Sort of a bit like Johnny says, we started the game really well, but coming towards the end of the half, you could see sort of Michael would have been desperate to get the lads in. It's 0-0. There's been a few chances either way, but we haven't kept possession the way we should do, the way we normally can do, and it's going to be a tough test in the second half now.
Yeah, we have seen most of the chances in the last maybe 10 minutes or so, but the first real chance of the game came in the way of Martin Patterson, who has scored a few goals for Northern Ireland in the last couple of games, but it wasn't to be just on this time.
Yeah, it was great play by Niall McGinn, and you can see Martin Patterson get in between the two centre halves there. Done what you want to do as a striker. You hit the target. Possibly, he'd probably be disappointed he hasn't scored there, but it was a good start to the game for Northern Ireland. It looked as if we were on the front foot, and from then on we sort of haven't kicked on and let Cyprus get back into the game.
Martin Patterson has been in good form for Northern Ireland as well, hasn't he, Johnny?
Yeah, anyway, he'd probably be disappointed he maybe hasn't headed the ball down. I know it looks easier than it is, but he's hit the target. Like David said, he'll be disappointed he hasn't scored. They're chances that we need to take, really.
A player who works very hard as well.
He does. He works hard. And you expect that from centre forward in Northern Ireland. You need to, David Slappin. You need to work rate from them, and like I say, to try and get ourselves up the pitch a bit. If we are under pressure, so you expect that from Martin.
And just a couple of minutes later, it was some good defending from Ryan McGivern after a chance from Cyprus, Johnny.
Yeah, I think the chances that Cyprus have had, came from our own sort of, like I say, sloppy possession, and Ryan's done well there to get back on the line, but we'll be disappointed. We'll let them get into that position. You can see it's almost 3-on-2 at the back there.
Yes, as I say, good defending from him. Gareth McCauley as well, somebody who you've been lining up against over the past couple of years alongside him for Northern Ireland, but a bit of good defending from him, David.
Yeah, Gareth's actually scored a few goals for Northern Ireland over the past few years, but this is his basic defending from Gareth, and say 2v1 there from Cyprus, good ball in, but Gareth does well to sort of react and cover around and gets a good block in there. If he doesn't do it, you can see him, he's touch tight, and so if he's not tight there, we could find ourselves 1-0 down there. So good defending.
And he's been playing alongside Alex Brice tonight. What have you made of his performance, Johnny?
Alex has done well. He's he's a good reader of the game. He's been playing a lot for Hull this season, and his distribution's actually been very good. He's played some good balls out wide, and he's kept it simple, and he's done what he's had to do.
And just behind him then, of course, is Alan Manus. We have seen a lot of Roy Carroll over the last few games for Northern Ireland, but Manus once again getting between the sticks tonight, and he's had to work hard in the last 10 minutes of the game, David.
It's positive to see that obviously Roy's not playing for Olympiacos at the minute, and I know Alan Manus is a player, as a goalkeeper that Michael knows from Shamrock Rovers days, and when they got into the Europa League stages, Alan Manus was Michael's goalkeeper there, though. That's a great save. We probably should have defended better. It's one little ball over the top. He is onside, but Alan's done really well to read that. It would have been easier for him maybe to charge out, make it easier for the defender maybe to pop it over him, but he's read that well, and it was a good save to keep the clean sheet at the minute.
I was just going to mention Roy Carroll there whenever you did, David, and of course he's not playing regularly in Greece. Johnny, how hard will it be for him to get back in the Northern Ireland team?
Well, he's got a lot of experience. I don't know if that's a reason why he's not playing tonight. Maybe Michael wants to have, give Alan Manus, a bit more playing time. But Roy, like I say, he's got loads of experience. I'm sure Michael will still have him in mind, when the qualifiers come around. And like I say, he hasn't been playing for Olympiacos, but his experience and his hunger for the game, supersede what the fact that he's not been playing at club level.
What do you think it's been about Cyprus, the way they've got into the game in the last sort of 10 minutes? Why do you think that's been, David?
I think part of it's been probably our own doing. Sort of sloppy passes into the midfield. We've sort of given sloppy possession, which gives them an opportunity. You know, they're sniffing out opportunities to break. But
this was just before the break as well.
Technically, like most of the European teams that we play against, it's going to be difficult, especially away from home. Our away record's not been great. You can see there, we give the, you know, that's our own doing. We give the ball away. Alan's done pretty well. He's patted away and we've cleared our lines. But you know, if you keep giving sloppy possession away, it doesn't matter whether it's Cyprus or Spain or Germany, whoever you're going to play against. You know, you're going to put the back four on the back foot, and you know that's what we did there. So if we keep the ball better as we do, and I'm sure Michael works on continuously in training, and it's something that he wants to improve. Hopefully, coming into the qualification stages, we do need to keep the ball better to stop giving opportunities like that away.
Okay, thanks guys. That is your first half analysis. Of course, 0 night. What did you make of the overall performance of the team, Johnny?
I think Michael will be a bit disappointed. You know, we looked organised enough, but you know, like I said, at half time our possession wasn't good enough, and I thought our passes forward to the front men weren't accurate enough, and we never really give ourselves a chance to get up the pitch and, you know, create anything right near their box.
And unfortunately, David, that's now 10 friendly games away from home without a goal. The last time was in August 2006 when we played Finland, yourself and Lafferty getting on the score sheet then. But what can Northern Ireland do about the lack of goals away from home?
It's a hard one. Not only our lack of goals away from home, it's our lack of wins, which I'm sure will be concerning Michael. Our away form has not been good. Ever since I've been involved for the last sort of 13 or 14 years, it hasn't been great. But tonight, the positives you can take out of the game tonight is it's a clean sheet. We did look organised, but you know, overall in possession, we gave sloppy passes away, and a lot of times in the first half and the second half, that's where a lot of our chances come from.
At half-time, of course, Kyle Lafferty did make an appearance on the pitch. Northern Ireland fans be glad to see him back.
Yeah, he's missed the last sort of couple of games. But you know, Kyle's a good player. You know, we need him to be playing well for us. And you know, he is someone that can score goals. You know, it'd be nice to get him sort of settled within the team again. And you know, but I thought the play up to the centre forwards, you know, in the first half, and you know, when he came on, wasn't really up to our usual standards. And you know, that's something we need to definitely make sure we need to improve on. I'm sure Michael will be looking at that.
Well, it was turned out to be a disappointing night for Gareth McCauley as he got a red card in the game. David, I'm sure he'll be disappointed.
He'll be disappointed. I'm sure Michael will be probably scratching his head thinking, somebody now mentioned in commentary, I don't think it's a straight red card in a friendly game. That's one where you could maybe have a word with him, show him a yellow card and sort of warn him that you know, there'll be no more challenges. Gareth will be disappointed. We have, I think our discipline's cost us. I think Michael sort of mentioned in the last campaign where we had too many yellow cards and suspensions. But it's something that we have to get rid of. I think Michael had made reference to at the time that we conceded the least fouls in the group, but we ended up with the most yellow cards and red cards. And again tonight, Gareth will be disappointed, but I don't think in a friendly game it should have been a straight red card.
It did seem quite harsh, didn't it? And then, of course, we'll go through the chances again. Probably the biggest chance of the game, Johnny, was, as we said, at half-time. That came from Martin Patterson.
Yeah, it was the biggest chance for us. You know, people talk about this early in the game, but you still want to be, you know, putting them chances away. You know, I said at half-time that Martin maybe disappointed he didn't head the ball down. It was a decent save by the keeper, but it was probably our only real chance in the game to get anything from it.
He did score against Russia at home. Similar sort of position in the box where he scored a great header. He headed it down, so no Martin strikers should be coming off there. He'll be disappointed he hasn't scored from 6 yards out there.
And in terms of Cyprus, what did you make of their chances? They did have a chance where Ryan McGivern saved Northern Ireland.
This was one we talked about. This was our own doing. We gave the ball away sloppily. But one thing Ryan did, as defenders do, good fullbacks do, they cover the goal. You see Alan Manus coming out to cut the angle down, and Ryan sort of read it well. He was in between. He was probably in two minds, whether to mark the attacker or get the line, and he done well there, reading the situation and, you know, clearing it.
And then if we go to the first half again, and Gareth McCauley, some good defending from him and another chance from Cyprus, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've overlapped here and, you know, got the cross in the box, and be fair to Big Gareth, he's a lot of defenders, a lot of time, you know, sort of ball watch, and he's done well there to get touch tight and make sure the guy doesn't have any space to get a shot off.
Now, we did talk about Alan Manus at half-time. Roy Carroll, of course, coming on for the second half. But what did you make of Alan Manus's performance overall?
I think Michael will be pleased with, you know, not only Alan's, but Roy. Come on, Roy made a couple of good saves towards the end, looked confident and comfortable. But, you know, Alan coming in, sort of new to the international stage. He's, you know, a few caps under his belt now. But Michael having worked with him previously at Shamrock Rovers, I'll know all about Alan, his strengths, his weaknesses. And tonight he looked comfortable in the goal, and say that's a good save there. Sometimes goalkeepers could rush out, make it easier for the striker, but he stood on his line, stayed big and strong, and tipped it over the bar. So,
of course, Roy Carroll did come on in the second half, and he'll be pleased to get some football, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we mentioned before, he hasn't been playing at club level, but you know, he'll be glad to get the minutes under his belt. I'm sure he enjoyed it. I mean, he's made a good save here, as you can see, but I don't really think, you know, we're talking about ourselves not having much chances. I don't really think Cyprus had that many clear-cut chances either.
And two tough friendlies coming up as well in the summer, Uruguay and Chile, May and June.
Yeah, they'll be very tough games. You know, they'll be preparing for the World Cup, so, you know, especially away in South America as well, it's going to be a very tough game. You know, we talk about the weather, you know, things like that, but these teams are, you know, very good teams, so it'll be another chance for Michael to get the squad together and look at them, and, you know, definitely think he'll be wanting an improvement on tonight's performance.
You'll need your sun cream for that one, Johnny.
Factor 50, Helen.
Okay, well, thanks to both of you for joining us. Unfortunately, no more goals tonight in Northern Ireland, but we're saving those for the European qualifying.